Previously on the Pocket Party podcast, Darren was watching Little House on the Prairie, and it got too exciting, so he slowed it down by watching The Waltons.
Everybody listen to Darren Carter. Yeah. We all know he's the party starter. So if you want to listen to a podcast for free, then listen to a Pocket Party. Pocket Party. Darren.
And we're back. Hey, everybody, it's your host, Darren Carter, the party starter, with the one and only John DiResta.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby.
I'm back.
He's back, baby. He is back. I've been on the road, and I have not had a chance to come back and do a live in-person podcast with you. And, dude, we've done a lot. I've been to Texas twice. I've been to the LA County Fair. I've been to the Orange County Fair.
Wow.
I just
Watch this. I've been to a fair.
You did?
I went to a fair in Bedford, Pennsylvania, and boy, that was ground zero for the straggly mullet and the fupa, dude. The mullet fupa combo was sick.
When did you go? Was this like in recent times? Or?
A couple days.
Dude.
Last weekend, I was a special guest.
Nice.
At a maker fair. Guys that make stuff.
Oh, wow.
And since I make stuff and I'm Jimmy DiResta's brother, I was the next best thing to hiring Jimmy, for real.
No, I know. That's why I'm laughing, because it's true.
And, on that note, just 2 days ago, I was speaking to someone and they said, very nonchalant, actually, it was Jimmy DiResta. And he said, imagine being Tony Rock compared to Chris Rock.
Yeah.
And I said, imagine being John DiResta compared to Jimmy DiResta.
Right.
Not many people could say that.
I'm Mike Rowe. This is my brother Larry Moe. whatever.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. But you know what? And just like Tony.
And we used to call my brother Lenny Belzer.
Wow.
Richard Belzer had a brother that hung out at all the comedy clubs.
Wow.
And his name was Lenny Belzer.
Wow.
And we called my brother Jimmy Lenny Belzer because he hung out with me.
Wow.
And now the
tables have turned. Yeah. But your brother, you know what's good? Just like Chris Rock is funny and Tony Rock is funny.
I like Tony Rock. I think he's very funny.
You're successful and Jimmy's successful, and you
Yeah.
guys are both good at what you do. And there's no rhyme or reason in this world of why things, I mean, maybe your brother was back when you were making all the movies and stuff. Was like, I wonder if that would be me one day, And
No, he innocently got into it all. Innocently.
yeah. That's weird, though. Back to the mullet. Mullets I think they're making a comeback. I'm starting to see these kids on TikTok, and they did like these weird dances. Like I saw one that said, how to be a hit at the wedding. And it showed these two guys, almost as a goof, going over the top with these wild mullets. And I'm like, okay, that's just like how Theo Von, the comedian,
Yeah,
Theo
I
Von
love
has a
his
mullet.
mullet.
There's a UFC guy with the mullet. There's another. I mean, I think that mullet is coming back.
Watch this. I still remember the first time I ever saw the mullet. It should have been glowing. It was in a nightclub in Long Island called Hammerheads.
Wow.
And we went to see Twisted Sister and Zebra in one night. It's like, that was like going to see God twice in Long Island in 1981.
Yeah.
And it was like 500 people. It's crowd. Everyone's drinking, 16 years old, smoking pot, mescaline. And it was like the whole crowd parted, and there was a spotlight, and it was all just by chance.
Yeah.
Like it really happened, the way I remember it. Like the spotlight was right on the mullet, and the crowd, just like 35 people, all went one way or the other, all at once. And it was like, ta-da, this is a mullet. And it was.
And you'd
like,
never seen one like that. You're like,
I'd
dude,
never seen one.
What kind of hairstyle is that?
Well, they called it the hockey cut. Have you
Oh,
ever,
yeah,
in
yeah.
Long Island.
The hockey hair. Yep, hockey
Well,
hair, the hockey cut.
Hockey hair is funnier.
Yeah.
Hockey hair is funny. You
Yeah.
just wrote that for me.
You can use that.
Thank you.
Hockey haircut. Then I remember the baseball players had it. And then some people got accused of having a mullet, but they were like, no, I just, and whenever, like Blake Shelton, whenever he'd wear his cowboy hat, the hair would stick out underneath and it looked like a mullet, but he didn't have one. And
Dude,
then
I just watched my wedding video.
did you have a mullet?
My mullet had a mullet.
See, it was,
Dude, I had a double mullet.
and then they called it bi-level, right?
Bi-level,
The bi-level.
hockey cut,
You get it right
Mississippi
here.
mud flap.
Oh, yeah. Remember Skullet when the guy is
Skullet is
bald, but then
balding?
he's got the
Oh.
mullet in the back?
Pound it with the skullet.
Dude.
My balls with the skullet.
I know. And now we can't even have mullets because then they'll think we're trying to be like Bobby Lee or Theo Von or somebody. We can do
What
whatever-
I'd like to grow,
Yeah.
and this is for real, maybe we'll do this
Yeah.
to see how this progresses.
Yeah.
I want at my age with the wings.
Yeah.
I want to get a disco mullet. So I want the front to look like Goodfellas and the back to look like Billy Ray Virus.
Wow.
It's called a disco
a
mullet.
disco mullet. And has it ever been done
Pound?
before?
No, I made it up. I invented the disco
so
mullet.
in the front, they think you're like some kind of like John Gotti,
like a bad,
like some kind of cool Fonzie looking dude from the 50s.
With the accent.
Hey, I got my hair all greasy. Then you turn around and bam.
Yeah, dude. It's a fucking, you know what it is? It's body, head. If you're in a fight.
Dude, body, head. People are like, and then some kid's gonna describe you. He's gonna be like, the sea parted and the light hit him, and there's this guy on stage.
With the wings, makes it
wings.
look like a classic
like Polly
Mexican
Walnuts.
car.
Yeah.
You have those cars. You ever pull next to a car that jumps up and down, and you just look at it and go, "He wins."
Yeah.
You're in some shit box.
I feel like the mullet never left the Mexican community. There was always somebody out there that still had that mullet. Yeah.
Watch this.
Yeah.
This is called street cred. See that, Ozzy?
Yeah,
It
dude.
says Ozzy right there.
I talked about the new things. That's new. That tattoo is new.
Ozzy on one hand and Dio on the other.
That's right.
Right? So
That's cool.
And see the way they're on?
Yeah.
When they go up, you read them.
Oh, dude. That's cool.
It's symmetrical.
Yeah.
It's
By the way, tattoos
obtuse.
are strange. This first one,
right.
that almost looks like it's like an old tattoo now. Not.
No, I know.
Not that it looks bad, but it looks like.
They get old quick. And
Yeah.
watch this. I'm out in the sun, and this is the arm out of my car.
Yeah.
Right? But guess
Yeah.
what? If you have tattoos,
Yeah.
this is my theory, because I'm going to have the first what? Disco mullet.
Disco mullet.
Guess what goes with the disco mullet? I told someone the other day. They go, aren't you worried that they're going to fade? I go, they could turn into a green blotch tomorrow, and I'll still have it, and other people won't.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Pound it.
Dude, you could get like Ozzy on, you could disco mullet. You could have Ozzy on one arm and like the Bee Gees on the other.
Dude, Tony Manero.
Yeah, you got to get some disco in there.
How about this?
Yeah.
How about, because I'm kind of going for it.
Yeah.
Tony Manero in the white suit.
Oh.
Or close up of John Travolta's face from the movie.
That'd be cool.
You know, with the big white collar.
What about like a disco ball? Like you know what I mean? I wonder if they could do a disco ball.
Disco sucks, dude. You're too young for that.
I remember that though. I do remember
do?
that. And I like disco. It's funny, like
I like disco too, but I couldn't admit it. Dude, I couldn't admit it. How funny of a concept
he
is
just
that?
he just came out of the
I
disco
was a
closet,
secret-
ladies and gentlemen.
Dude, I was a secret. You know,
Right.
you could ring my bell.
You can ring my bell.
They played that at my 9th grade prom.
Ring my bell.
Hold on, I got to write that down.
Write
What
that
was it?
down. Disco mullet. And you were in the
Oh, and guess what?
You're a secret disco lover. You're in the
ready for
disco
this?
closet.
It's all Bee Gees up front
Yeah.
and Metallica in the back.
That's right. Dude, write that down. Write that down. You were in the disco closet, and that closet was a four-way mirror. There's something in there. I don't know.
No, it's inside a disco closet is posters of Saturday Night Fever. That's it.
I know.
Times 1,000.
Yeah.
More Than a Woman. It's the most special
So good.
scene ever made in a movie where they're spinning around looking at each other. It's the
More
most
than a
fantastic
woman.
romantic
More
scene
than
ever.
a woman to me. By the way, rest her soul.
And we all heard that song for the first
Yeah.
time.
Olivia Newton John passed
Oh,
away
yeah.
recently. Man, I had a crush on her when I was a
Dude,
kid.
guess what? She put me into what? The disco closet.
The disco closet.
And my balls with the disco
Yeah,
closet.
in public, you're with your friends.
Yeah,
you're like, you got another thing coming.
Yeah.
Then all right, you guys, I'll see you later. Then you'd come home and you'd be like, Xanadu.
Yeah. No, let's get
Physical. Let me hear your body talk. My body said, yeah, metal. Yeah. She was great, man. Of course, all the Grease soundtrack.
Hold on, I have a what's it called when you have two? I have a bipolar.
Split
I
personality.
have split.
Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde.
Split
Yeah,
personality.
that's right.
Dr. Jekyll.
And Mr. Hyde.
There's a heavy,
You know this is
hold on,
we're
watch
recording this. You could actually
There's a heavy
you could,
metal
You could go
song
back and watch the
by
podcast.
Five Finger Death Punch.
Yeah.
Called Jekyll and Hyde, and boy is it heavy.
Wow. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I got a surprise for you. I have a gift for you.
Yeah.
I got a gift for you. You might want to do me a favor. Comb out your mustache and beard. Kind of give people. I want to. By the way, why do you do that? Before we do that, what's the deal with the? I noticed you've been doing that for a really long time.
Two things.
It
sets the hair in the right direction.
Yeah.
It actually combs it, and so it could be more decorative.
Yeah.
Then it actually feels good. So there's a second it feels,
Yeah.
for some reason, it gives you pleasure. It looks funny. And if you have to have a prop,
Yeah.
it's 99 cents.
That's
And
funny.
you can buy it anywhere. I don't got to send out for another one.
Somebody, I did a show somewhere, and they asked me if it's real. They go, or maybe it was online. They asked. I go, no, he really does that in real life. He does that in real life. And then, have you tried the other one? The comb, and then the third one is the surprise.
I even rarely go to this. I don't know why. Like, if I'm doing like a 10-minute spot 2 or 3 times a week, so some nights I forget I even have it. And like the first note I put in my notebook is, "This is at hand."
Yeah.
And guess what I'm working in? A harmonica.
Oh.
Pound it.
What about the I don't want to give away the punchline, but that.
What?
The toothbrush.
Oh, okay.
That's what I mean.
It
gonna be
was
comb,
getting too
comb,
much stuff
and
to
then-
carry.
Yeah, because what we're talking about, I think you were going to do like a comb, and then a comb, and then at one point, like talk about your new teeth that you got, then you're going to brush your teeth a little bit on stage.
It's funny.
And then you were going to whip out your toothbrush or something, right? Was
Okay.
that the
I think
punchline,
that
or-
was it.
You never tried it?
No, I don't think. I think
Oh.
I found it to be too much stuff to hide and to carry.
Okay, well, listen, I went to the Orange County Fair, and I don't know, for some reason there was this, I don't know. We talked about going to the fairs, and I love going to the fair. But what I love about a fair now, maybe at my age, being the dad with the 14-year-old son, Austin, a.k.a. AusTheBassBoss, all over YouTube. He's a musician. Check out his channel. There's a link below, AusTheBassBoss. Austin and my wife, they still go on the rides. Like, she'll go with him, and he'll do like the sky rides and these things that spin around.
Yeah, I don't do any of that.
I don't either. I don't like that stuff. I didn't like it when I remember being in 8th or 9th grade, and a friend of mine, because I was too chicken, and he goes, "You got to learn to do it. One day you're going to be a father, and you don't want to be that guy that's hanging out by the exit of the ride." And I'm like, "That's me, dude. That's totally me. I'm
I
sorry."
never thought of that.
Yeah, I didn't go on rides with them, Like, I've gone on a few, but I go on merry-go-rounds. I go on the slide.
I don't go on any of that. I never leave the couch, dude.
Oh, really?
I listen to Black Sabbath. I watch UFC on mute.
But remember when they were little? Like, you might
Yeah,
want
I
to
never
do that?
liked taking them anywhere.
Yeah, here's what I did though. Like, so I love going to the fair, but I know this sounds weird because I'm the party starter, but I don't like being around crowds. So even though I like the fair, so I find myself, as they're doing the rides, I love to be at a fair just by myself, alone, going to these exhibit halls, and the different exhibit halls are kind of peaceful, especially if you're in a crowded situation and you need to get away from everybody.
What do you go to, like the Biggest Cow or a wax museum?
No, I stay away from the animals. I go to the indoors ones that are air conditioning. But I've been like the needlepoint exhibit hall. Like, nobody goes in that one. So I've gone in there. I went to this one exhibit hall, and this booth was incredible. By the way, there's woodworking exhibits, and where people have made like guitars out of handcrafted out of wood and instruments. And I love chessboards. I love looking for like cool chessboards with like handmade chess pieces or whatever. And I went to this one booth, and it was called the whatchamacallit thingy-majiggy, something like that. And I'm like, and dude, they had all kinds of cool things, like weird like magnifying glasses, or like these little. It's like the size of a credit card. Like, you would put it on the end of your nose, like if you need like readers. They had like those giant carabiners, but they're really big. They had just all this weird stuff. And I saw something there, flashlights. I love flashlights. And I saw something, and I thought, I'm going to buy this for John DiResta, and I'm going to give it to him.
What
I'm
a
gonna,
setup.
I'm going to present it to him on the podcast. I don't know if you'll like it or not, but it made me think of you. And I'm such a loser. I didn't even wrap it with any kind of present. I just, here it is in a bag. But I'd like you to.
It looks like a pack of cigarettes.
I'd like you to check this out and maybe hold it up to the camera and.
I don't know what it is. Oh, it's
Tell the people what it is. Drum roll, please.
it's some type of hairstyling folding pocket comb.
That's right, for your mustache and beard.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And you got this at the carnival?
I got that at the fair. Look, I'll open it for you. Look at this. This is very nice. And this is a lot more than 99 cents. Look at that, huh?
Whoa.
Quality. I mean, they kept going on and on about how it's made and it's perfect, and it's like a switchblade basically. Check it out.
Okay.
I think you open it like a switchblade. See? and it's supposed to like be really good and not hurt your skin.
It's
and,
obviously very fine.
yeah, I mean, trust me, if you never use it, I'm okay with that. But I think it looks classy and kind of interesting.
It does.
Look at that.
I just got promoted.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I know for stage you might want to use the bigger one, but that might be kind of cool because you can open like a switchblade.
Look.
Oh, cool. It says, the folding pocket comb, specifically manufactured from acrylic to not scratch your scalp while maintaining any hairstyle or style of hair. Designed to fold and fit perfectly in a pocket and protect the teeth of the comb. Made by Rockwell Razors.
Yeah, I like it. Thank you, dude.
You're welcome. Rockwell
I
Grooming
have
Supplies.
that, and I have my harmonica.
Yes. Yeah, you
And-
got like the switchblade. You know?
And here's what I did, not to interject.
Yes.
I went to I was a guest at a Maker Fair, and there was a carnival or a fair in town, and everyone paid to get there by 5:30 to see cars smash into each other.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, and it's weird how the crowd reacts
Is
when
it-
someone gets hit solid.
Is it
Everyone
called like
likes
a
it.
crash derby or something?
Something
or?
like
The word derby's in there,
last
right?
something car finished, last
Yeah.
one.
And that's something, let me ask you this. Is it something you never in a million years thought you'd be interested in? You would never go on your own time?
Well, I went to this Maker Fair.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is you were there already. You're like,
I was
let me
there
go-
already,
Yeah.
and the Maker Fair might have started the day next day,
Yeah.
and I was with the host was Adrian,
Yo, Adrian.
and
And how
a couple of us went to the local fair, and to get there by the time these cars smashed into each other.
And how cool was it? Was it
It
cool?
was fun. It was exciting.
Well, the reason I bring that up is because when we went to the fair, my wife, I'm watching. There was like the fair is so big. There's so many weird things, And there was this one place where I went to look at. I know this sounds weird, but like I was watching these honeybees. Are all in this glass case, and they're all buzzing around and crawling around. And the guy that the beekeeper said there's a queen bee in there, and she has a yellow dot on her, and he goes, see how long it takes you to find. And so I'm looking and looking and looking. And finally the guy goes, okay, it's down. And bam. And I looked, and all these bees were grooming her. It was almost like they were licking her and making sure she was clean. And
Really?
it was actually really interesting. And so after I was looking at these bees, I was talking to the guy, and I looked over his shoulder, and there was like this hill. And this is weird in a fair. And I'm like, and I saw this donkey, and I saw some llamas, and I saw these animals, and they were apparently they graze. That's what they bring them in there for, to graze. And so I'm watching this weird stuff. My wife starts blowing up my phone. She's like, you got to get over here. There's a monster truck that's about to start. And there was like almost like a crash derby. There was like a monster truck festival type of thing inside the fair.
Wow.
And that's something in a million years I wouldn't say in a million years, but it's not, I don't even think of, I've never put that on my to-do list to go to a monster truck show.
When we were kids in Long Island, we went to a smash-up derby in Long Island.
Wow. And I went to a tractor pull type of monster truck show
No, we
when
never
I was
went
a
to
kid.
pull. All it was
Wow.
they smashed into each other and
Yeah.
jolted their necks and wore helmets
geez.
and no windshields.
Yeah. Was it all loud?
Yeah, it's very loud, and some of them don't have mufflers, and some of them have 3 or 4 donuts for wheels. They don't even have the regular
Wow.
wheel. Like, they're really on the... And it's just they get to beat each other up, and most of them back into each other.
Oh.
Because if they hit from the front...
The engine.
It's a really weird strategy.
How fast do those cars go?
They all go like 30 feet, and then if they can get up to like 15 miles an hour, that's a
do they
good
put
hit.
like some sort of governor so you're not going like 90?
That's a good point. I didn't notice that.
Wow.
I did not notice
So it's like
that.
bumper cars, but like next level.
And they had no helmets.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And there was some mofo ugly people at this thing.
Wow.
I mean, like
Yeah.
everywhere you looked, there was someone had a weight problem. Everywhere.
Oh, wow.
And I saw the word, not to get political,
Yeah.
but someone had 10-foot letters on their front lawn. Trump.
Wow.
10 foot.
Yeah. Oh, in that area.
Carved into the grass.
Wow. Oh, in the grass.
Oh, carved into the grass.
Oh,
you can see it
interesting.
from an airplane.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. Have
Wow.
a nice class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, this monster truck show that we saw, check this out. So you got to picture like the oval, just picture like a football field, right? So in the stands were like the 50-yard line and all that. Those are like the people who paid to watch the monster trucks. However, they had stands at the end zone area, if
Right.
you will, and that's where the monster trucks race toward, and those are the free seats. So, and then it got to the point where they're like, there's too many free people. You guys got to wait. But they let us in at the very last second. So the very last second, we got some of those free seats in the bleachers. And as the monster trucks, I mean, they're barreling coming towards you.
Right.
And I was thinking, is this like the dumbest thing I've ever done? Like had a monster truck, but you just hope that the brakes work and they won't, crash
I
through
don't
the
want
fence.
that. I don't.
But it was fun though, and I'd go again.
Yeah. And when you say, is this something you'd be interested in?
Yeah.
I mean, to go anywhere, if you have your curiosity, ready to go, and you go anywhere and can have fun.
Yeah.
Anywhere.
Yeah,
You know what
totally.
I mean?
Like that fair, we went and saw like
Anywhere.
Hawaiian dancers. We saw, you know what I mean?
I
Like,
saw trucks smash into each other.
Yeah.
I saw one guy in line. I saw two things. I saw a guy with a huge wrench. I mean, like waiting to get people on, and he's fixing
the ride.
The ride. He's tightening each thing on the Ferris wheel. Each one at 10 feet, Ferris wheel, 10 feet. And it looked like it was just going to fall to bits.
Dude, one time we saw this Ferris wheel in up near Fresno in this small town. It's called Hanford. It's near Visalia. And I guess that they use the mall parking lot. You know, those kind of fairs that come in for 4 days and then they move on to the next town.
Right.
They had a Ferris wheel. And on one of the rides of the Ferris wheel was a black tarp all around that particular ride. And I asked somebody why that was like that, and they said, rest in peace, one of the carnival workers overdosed. And that was like
I don't know. It was what?
That was like, no, the guy died, and they like when
did he die in the thing?
No, he overdosed. He OD'd, apparently.
But was he in the?
No. Well, I don't know. I didn't even think about that. But I think it was in his honor. You know, like how people.
Yeah, but
they
that
put like
doesn't look good. That's,
no, I know it scares away customers, but like they might put a black patch on the armband.
Yeah, they put a black band on the
yes
amusement ring. What's it called?
Yeah, the carnival ride, the
Ferris wheel.
The Ferris wheel, Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
I thought if they fell out of that spot.
No, it was creepy. It was a creepy reminder.
It.
No, it was like, and it said like R.I.P. flowers and stuff.
Row.
Yeah, it was scary. It was like sad. Like I remember one time I did a show for the Navy, and then there was like a table that was designated, and they had a chair kind of tilted forward, and that was for the missing or the unknown soldier, I believe. And I think that was the same sort of thing at this carnival. Like you wouldn't want that. You know what I mean? Imagine if that Derby, there was one car that was out there that was just like covered in black. And
how about every comedian has had to do the gig where someone passed away?
Yeah.
Have you had one? I've had one or two.
Yeah.
I had, or you don't even know it's coming.
Oh, I'll tell you.
Most of the time, you don't know it's coming.
Yeah, dude, I did something for the LAPD one year, and there was 4 comics, and the first guy goes on, did great. I went on, did great. The next comic, the next 2, these guys came in late. They rode together. And the guy that followed me did like 5 minutes just to warm up for the other headliner. There's 2 headliners and 2 openers. And so the first team goes, not team, but So the last guy that went on, he had no idea that that this table here was a family of a fallen officer.
Oh.
Yeah, he had no idea. So he gets on stage and he's like, "What? I'm gonna curse you guys," but he's like, "What the fuck? You guys having fun? Let your face know. What the fuck? Like fucking unhappy, fucking frowning. What the fuck?"
No,
yeah, all that shit.
No.
And it was
you
just
were
like,
there for that?
Yikes! Yeah. And then of course that comic was a drunk and he got into almost a fist fight at this police thing. It was weird. They separated.
What's his name?
I'll tell you later. He's a great comic, but that was weird. He drinks too much and had a temper.
Okay, watch this,
Yeah.
and I won't say his name. He's a friend of mine.
Yeah.
He got late to a gig in Brooklyn. He was on. He got there late. He's up next.
Yeah.
Finds the prettiest girl in the front row. Italian, 35 years old. Eyes, tits, ass, accent, makeup, everything. Why aren't you married? Why aren't you married? What would you do if I were married? Yeah. How can you be single? Husband died on 9/11.
Oh.
And he kept going.
He didn't know how to get out of it. He
didn't know.
He didn't want. Oh.
He kept stuck to it to try and crack him on it. Like he committed to like, I'll
Yeah.
finally break them. You know how we
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah,
You know, we
yeah.
know like if we're silly enough and like a dumb act out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They got to laugh.
Michael Richards, have you heard of him?
Oh, I can't stand that guy.
I'm just joking. I was going to say that he had an issue where he was trying to, I'll be so wild that this'll, no, Michael, no, you don't do that.
No, dude, watch this. This is a true story. I was a New York City cop for 12 years. 9 transit in the subway, 3 NYPD. I worked in Coney Island. I worked in Bedford-Stuyvesant. I worked in the South Bronx. I worked in Harlem. I worked in Rockaway Beach, Queens. I worked in Far Rockaway. Any questions?
I do have a question. It has nothing to do with what you just talked about. But,
Go ahead.
But I got a serious question. Did you ever meet or were you ever in the vicinity of Frank Sinatra when he came to the New York area?
That's a good question.
Because I love Frank Sinatra and I'm finding out more about him, and it seems like that'd be a great story.
Who we did see, I was in the homeless outreach van, me and Kenny Gelano, and he was bald. So we called him Grandpa. He was a younger guy, but it was a vicious nickname.
Yeah.
Me and Grandpa were driving,
Oh, gosh.
and I said, "There's Tony Bennett."
Yeah. Oh.
And I took the speaker and went, the one that's outside like this.
Yeah.
And I said, "Hey, Tony, I left my heart in San Francisco." And it's the first time I've ever told the story. And Tony Bennett laughed and waved. How can he not?
Oh, that's cool.
And this guy yells at me. Grandpa says to me, "You don't talk to Tony Bennett like that." Like, has no idea that he appreciates that.
Yeah.
People did that when I was hanging. I don't want to drop names, but I would hang with Bob De Niro.
Yeah.
Bobby. And
Well,
I would tell him a funny line for the next thing, and people would run, "You can't, what are you shoving me away?"
Yeah.
And then he would do my joke in the next take,
Cool.
get an applause break, and that person would just run in the corner and not say anything.
Right.
I don't know why I brought all this up. What were we talking
Frank
about?
Sinatra, New York City.
I met Joey Ramone. I got his autograph on a dollar bill. I think I was in uniform. I saw Larry Bud Melman on the train from David Letterman, the old man.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was a big deal. I saw Vanessa Del Rio, the porn star. She was like a Hispanic porn star in the 70s or 80s. And there was one more. Oh, I had set 72 was the best set I ever had in my life.
At that point.
Set, right. It's still up there. It's top 5. It's memorable. Set 72, Caroline's. I carried it on VHS. And I put a copy in Dick Clark's hand.
Oh.
I walked all the way up on New Year's Eve, past security,
On New Year's Eve.
I'm in the home. Oh,
he's
dude,
pretty
while
busy.
he was on
He's
TV,
pretty busy, dude. Yeah.
I said, "My name's John DiResta. I'm a funny New York City cop."
Yeah.
And he went, "I'll take a look at it."
Oh.
Yeah, he was jacked by then.
Yeah.
And then we used to ride comedians in the homeless outreach van. And we used to say, if we get pulled over, you're homeless. So we were allowed to give them a ride as long as... So Dave Attell would have to say he was homeless. The guy that helped create the Chappelle Show, Brennan.
Neil Brennan.
Brennan we gave a ride to. And the most memorable one was Arliss. What was his name?
Oh, yeah. Robert Wool.
Robert
Wool.
Yeah, Robert Wool. We gave him a ride. He was flat because they would be hailing a cab.
Yeah.
We'd just pull over. You want a ride?
That's cool.
What are you guys? We're cops. Hop in.
Yeah.
What do you do? Homeless outreach. Where do these bums sit? Right where you're sitting. You always got to laugh. Like I said, you could be the biggest comedian.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where do they sit?
Dude, it's funny you say that because I was at Mel's Diner on Sunset one night, but, we used to park down by the Laugh Factory, and some cops, were in there, and they recognized me, and they were talking, and he goes, "Where you parked?" And I go, and I told him where I was parked, and dude, it was really cool. I get in the back of the cop car, and he's driving down Sunset. I don't know, for some reason you feel like you're safe when you're in a cop car, like, oh, these guys are like superheroes. And it was probably like 3 a.m. There's no traffic. He must have gone 60 miles an hour, whatever. I know it was way faster than speed limit. Going down Sunset, how it curves, like, and then pulled right up to my car, and it was like an experience. Like, wow, thank you.
I wonder if he was showing off.
Showing off, yeah, for sure. I mean, it didn't feel too fast, like where it was scary, but it was like, whoa, this is cool. And then I told my wife about it, and she's like, "Ooh, I hope you washed your clothes." Because that's not even something I would think of, like that I was in the back of a cop car. Like, who knows?
How about a homeless outreach van?
Yeah, I know,
Dude,
right?
There was human turd.
Ew.
There was turds.
So let me ask you this: would you get sitting? Because
Why,
often
we used to sleep in the
no,
back.
I know. Okay, then I
We're
already
worse
know.
than
I
sick.
already know the question.
I laid, dude.
'Cause
you sleep on job time. You're a civil servant.
Oftentimes, when I do at least police shows, they'll say like, "Hey, would you like us to pick? Would you like a car to pick you up?" But I'm assuming they want me to sit in the. They're gonna let me sit in the front of the cop car.
I don't know how that works.
Yeah,
I don't know how that
I mean,
works.
would you want to sit in the back of a cop car on the way to a gig?
I have. I've been driven to gigs like like lights and sirens.
What happens if an accident happens? You're trapped back there, right? How would you get out of there?
Know. Why you got to think negative?
I know exactly.
So guess who I drove in the homeless outreach van, and I just remembered it for the first time since it happened.
Who?
It was Marla Schultz and Susie Essman, who's now famous from Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yeah. The one that's
And I
always like
saw
whining and yelling.
They
Oh,
were-
Larry.
Yeah, they were both hailing a cab, and I said to my friend, "Watch this." Whoop. And two hot-looking. I said, "Hey, it's John DiResta." Oh, and I think I might have had to sit for 11 months. I was a big deal. You know what I mean? Before I moved to L.A.,
Yeah.
I was a cop with a TV deal.
Wow.
I was like a double hero.
And then the town kind of knew it because
everybody knew, dude. It was
Yeah.
in the newspaper.
Wow.
Everybody knew.
And back when people would read papers
everybody
back
had
then.
to fucking suck it down with a biscuit.
Yeah.
Everybody. Daily News, Post, New York
New
Times.
York Times. They were like, New York's funniest cop. Get sitcom deal.
No, guess what? Better. John DiResta might be the most famous New York City cop in the history of the world.
Wow.
After Frank Serpico.
Wow.
They compared me to Frank Serpico in the title.
Was it a little bit weird where you knew like you had this golden ring happening and you're going to have a TV show, you're going to move to California, but yet you still have to work for another few months?
I had to work 9 months.
Was it kind of like, it interesting?
maybe 11 months. I don't know, 9 or 11.
As it got closer, like
It was,
down,
it was a countdown. And here's the one good thing. Everybody was jealous, but I worked very hard for it. I worked very hard. I drove to gigs in the dark and almost got killed.
Oh,
and
for sure, yeah.
You know what I mean? I worked 3 jobs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I guarded Pete Townshend's guitars one night. Okay? Have you ever done that?
No.
At Radio City, I had a 12-hour shift to sit with like 15 guitars in a circle.
Yeah.
And that was it. And they never really said hello. And when I checked in, suit jacket, I had a gun under the suit jacket. And this is a true story. I had to look for a guy named like Tony. And I found like 6 a.m. to like 6 at night. I said, "Hey, man, Tony, my name's John." He goes, "I don't want no last names. I don't want to know your last name."
Why? Who said that?
The security guy was to check in with.
Wow.
It was everything was so fugazi. You know, he didn't want no responsibility.
Oh.
I don't want any last name.
Yeah.
I'll give you $120 12 hours from now.
Yeah. Like,
Okay.
I don't want to get to know you. Just, you're the guy. This is your
And
job.
this was one night at a flea market. This is a true story.
Wow.
Indoor flea market, 12 hours overnight. I go, "Can I sleep?" He goes, "You do what you got to do. This is no last names. You do what you got to do." This is a true story. He leaned in my ear and said, "The only reason you're here is to not guard these booths. It's to watch the security guard overnight." So I was hired just to watch the security guard wouldn't steal. That's how corrupt everything is.
Wow.
And this is a true story, probably never told us. I go, "What if someone comes in? What do I do?" He goes, "What do you mean?" I said, "What if someone enters this room at night, overnight? What do I do?" He goes, "If I was you, I'd let a round go in the ceiling and get the fuck out." He's telling me to run.
Yeah.
It's hysterical.
Wow.
I'd let a round go in the ceiling. Like
I
just to
tried.
No, I think that's to put everyone off.
Yeah.
That gives you the advantage to run. That's the way I saw it.
There's a gun. Yeah, wow. Have you ever heard of a place called Jilly's?
No, but that was Sinatra's buddy,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
I
and
know
he-
that. And they all drank Jack Daniels till
Yeah.
the sun came up.
And he had a nightclub.
I met his daughter. Guess where?
Jilly's daughter?
Dude, I know everybody.
Yeah.
I'm not like, I know more people than Forrest Gump. I have more experiences than that. That guy can't even suck my dictionary. Right?
Yeah.
He can't even eat my shrimp fra diavolo over here. You understand? I was I don't want to brag, at the Meatballs of Comedy. And after the show, this lady came over, had bleach blonde hair, big, looked like Hulk Hogan. You know what I mean? Hi-ya!
Yeah.
Hi-ya! Everything was... And she said, "You're very pretty, very funny, very funny." And I said, "Thank you." And I said, "You kind of look famous. Are you famous?" And she said my dad was Jilly.
Wow.
Sinatra's right-hand man.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it was interesting to meet her. So,
wow.
Who says I'm not close to fame, bro? Okay?
Right. Hey, you're sitting right next to Darren Carter, the party starter.
Dude, my daughter's your biggest fan.
That's so cool, man. And your daughter, she just got a job in comedy.
Yeah, she does. She's in the comedy business. She works at the Laugh Factory, and she really likes it a lot.
That's cool. She's getting to know, like, behind the scenes.
She's getting all behind the scenes and the dirt and this and that.
Do you think, are you getting some information that can somehow help your career and my career? Like
not really.
Not yet.
No.
But
Well,
eventually we'll learn.
She's so happy with that job that I don't want to interject myself into it. I know my place. You know what I mean?
Right,
I don't even like driving over the hill.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She's trying to get me spots there. I was like, take it easy. I'm redoing my act.
Yeah.
I'm on the I'm working it out.
Yeah.
I'm working out my next one.
Can you imagine
show.
like it's like this? I mean, those crowds are like really young, and you're. I know you don't do this, but imagine like you're first out on stage. You're like, so there I was partying at Twisted Sister and Zebra.
Yeah,
and the crowd's like.
Well, ready for this?
Yeah.
This actually scares me.
Yeah.
Somebody said audiences in New York on a Friday or a Saturday or a Thursday through Sunday, in an audience, any given audience, could be 50 to 60% people there to see the influencer on a regular show. Not an influencer at 5 or the influencer or the TikToker at 8 on Sunday.
Yeah.
It's Steve Marshall, John DiResta, Darren Carter, and Chad Rigby. And Chad Rigby has brought 70 people.
Yeah.
And guess what those 70 people don't laugh at?
The other comedians.
You.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
And guess what? It's I listen to these podcasts from all these monkeys from New York. They all fight with each other. Do you follow it at all?
No.
Dude, it is a black...
Oh, yeah, it's a big thing now.
It's a black hole
Yeah.
of daily drama.
Wow.
Of who dislikes who and who said this and who has more street cred and who dislikes Opie and who dislikes Anthony and who dislikes this one and this one. And I try my best to just listen to Black Sabbath, and I'm flicking and it'll just say, 3 hours ago posted, why this one hates this guy.
Oh, wow.
And
So-and-so threw me up against the wall. I know some of that.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did his show, and he never posted it, and I did the show for Twisted Sister, the bass player. I did the funniest
you told me that. There was like
goddamn episode. I was killing it.
It was like a short amount of time. Like it seemed to me, in my mind, like a week apart. You're like,
they were like a week apart, and I don't think either one has been posted.
That's so weird.
Maybe
it was a technical.
No, I almost have to think I was too funny. I mean, what else? Pound
I don't know, dude.
Maybe I was too handsome.
They were like,
hold on.
Yeah.
Watch this.
Uh-oh.
Maybe I was too handsome.
Uh-oh. Hold it now. He's got the new one. I think does it open up like a switchblade?
No, it doesn't. It's a two-handed
thing. But it kind of folds though like that.
I
think that's kind of cool. Yeah.
Listen, you can hear this one. Somebody I know listens to this podcast.
Oh God, they like this. They're like, it's ASMR. Yeah.
All right. Shh.
Do it again. I'm gonna turn your mic up. God, that's weird. Okay, that's enough. That's enough, dude. All right. But yeah, eventually your daughter at the Laugh Factory, she may give you some hot tips of like, you know what, this seems to work when, or this is a
Well, here's one thing we discovered already.
Yeah.
Because she calls me almost every night.
Yes.
Compared to the 5 or 7 places she's worked in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
She's at a place where people come already happy.
Yeah.
They already are happy. When you enter a nightclub, remember the feeling when you were 15 or 17 and you entered a nightclub of, all right, this is dangerous. This is where shit happens that we don't know about. You know what I mean? That's the way I see it. Like, oh, this is what people do at night. So she's going to a place where people already came to get funny, to get happy.
Yeah.
But they enter happy.
You mean not a nightclub, but a comedy club?
Comedy club.
Yeah,
they enter happy.
Yep.
They're treated nice by everyone because everyone in the staff just wants to get the show over. They want to do a good job.
Yeah.
They want people to be happy. They want a good tip. So what are they doing? They're treating people nicely They're not in a diner at 4 a.m. and saying, we don't serve that
This
anymore.
isn't the DMV.
This isn't the DMV. And there's a team effort, and then you put up 5 or 6 people that are most likely going to be funny.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And even if they're not, they're interesting.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
And the laughs are like halfway out. And then sometimes celebrities are popping in, that maybe they weren't on the lineup or whatever.
Yeah,
like,
there's.
all of a sudden your daughter's going, oh my gosh, I just saw Leslie Jones.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if she has yet or not, but Leslie will pop in over there. Or Dave Chappelle, I don't know if he's popped in lately, but he'll go to the Laugh Factory.
Tonight she saw Tony Rock.
Tony Rock. Dane Cook pops in.
And you know what she's going to say to Eddie Murphy, right? Because Eddie Murphy has a special to do for Netflix.
Yeah.
And he lives in Encino.
Yeah.
He's probably going to be at the Laugh Factory every night.
You're probably going to get a text. Dad, guess who's here? Yeah.
And guess she's one of the only people on earth that can get that close to him, lean in and say, both of our fathers were New York City transit cops. That's got to stand out.
Yeah.
Do you know how many people have said that to Eddie Murphy in his ear, in his life?
Right.
Probably 1 or 2 by accident.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, just so you know, because this is a cutthroat business, if I see Eddie Murphy, I'm using that line. Hey, Eddie, both of our fathers were transit.
Yeah.
But then I won't be able to follow it up with anything else.
And I worked in District 1, 3, and 34.
Yeah.
And Eddie Murphy's father worked in District 5. And he was listed on the computer as an actor, comedian, and New York City transit cop. Wow. And he was handsome.
That's cool. I'm a big Eddie Murphy fan.
Yeah, dude, Eddie Murphy's the king.
That's so cool.
He's God. Who is it? It's Eddie Murphy. It's Will Ferrell to me. Who's the other guy? Ace Ventura?
Yeah, Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey is up there.
To me, I love
Sebastian Maniscalco and Howard Stern. That's my top 5.
Wow.
I love Howard Stern.
I'm liking, these days, I'm really liking what Jim Brewer's putting out
Oh,
there.
yeah.
The way he acts it out.
Dude, he's the best.
He's so good, man.
He's
Jim
number
Brewer.
2.
He's
number
so good. I like Robin Williams. I loved Robin Williams when I was up,
Yeah, I wasn't
big
on him, but but he's the greatest.
I was hooked with Mork and Mindy, and then just, I in his interviews, I got to say, I love Seinfeld in interviews. I don't really care for his comedy that much, like I've tried. Some of it's good, but some of it is
He's
like
from Long Island.
But I love his interviews. I love the way he thinks and the way he just makes it look like being a success. It makes it look like our profession is very respected and can be good. You know what I mean? You can the way he plays the cool, almost a lot of things he played. There's some cool jazz type music and coffees and comedians and cars getting coffee. It's always kind of classy, as opposed to how comedy used to be burlesque and you guys are a bunch of clowns and
right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love that about, what
Hack Lives Matter.
Yeah, exactly. It's like,
don't worry, be hacky. There we go. Zing.
By the way, I did a country bar in San Antonio since I've seen you. I did San Antonio, great show, urban show, black owned, awesome. It was great. Friday and Saturday. The night before, I did this redneck country bar, and they were the nicest people, and the audience was unbelievable.
Oh, great!
Everybody was there. It was so cool. I got some cool photos. There was a giant American flag right behind the stage.
Yeah.
So you're on stage, you got an American flag behind you. People in the front. Some people had seen me on the internet and couldn't believe I was that close to their home.
Wow.
They used to live in California. They were transplanted. They were like, we couldn't believe you're only an hour away. And so then they bought the tickets. They came out. I was there way before the show started. So I took photos with people and I was very hands-on because, I'm not doing theaters, dude. It was a small crowd, but it was great. And from then I came back. Then I tasted almost, I had a different meal in Texas every night or every day and night. Because I wanted to try the ribs. I wanted to try the Tex-Mex.
Nice.
I went to go have a salad at Chick-fil-A because I figured they have good salads there. But it was the only Chick-fil-A I could find I was like, this is smaller and dirtier than normal. And I looked and it was in a parking lot of a Walmart. So I was like, okay, I'm not wasting my meal. You know what I mean? I'm gonna go get something good again. I did that. And then I went to Dallas. I was in Dallas this last weekend, and that was cool. They put me up in a really nice hotel. You feel like you're in Las Vegas. It was a Hilton property.
Nice.
The AC was so cold, you'd freeze, dude. It was 68 degrees, but it was kind of nice to go from the hot Texas heat to this cold, except overnight I couldn't find the right temperature. I would put it at 73, 74, and that would be too hot. So I'd lower it, and it would, in this digital thing, you'd press it a little bit, and it would drop too fast, 71, 69, 68, and I was like, okay, let's just keep it there. But
It's funny you mentioned that. I did a gig I've been to Hawaii, I've been to Mexico, I've been to Austin, Texas, and I've been to Houston. Oh, and I've been to Hong Kong, and they're all wickedly humid.
Yeah.
And to me, the worst memory I have is of Houston, Houston, Texas, of it, the humidity. And what I remember is when I went in that hotel room, and it was 2007. When I went to go put the temperature down, it never stopped.
Wow.
It was like there was a hole in the bottom of the thermostat.
Yeah.
I mean, it went down to like a number that you've never seen.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
And it was so hot, I left the hotel one day, and it had to be like 105 with like 100% humidity. And there wasn't a person on the streets. And I'm like, man. And then I open the mall, the air conditioner hits me, and I see thousands of people, but nobody's coming to or from where I just did.
Yeah.
That night on stage, I said, walk the streets. There's no one. I said, I guess this town is dead. I opened the mall. I said, there's more people than I can even count. Thousands.
Yeah.
Like it was Christmas Eve. I said, it's like there's a tunnel. And they all yelled, there is. There's a whole tunnel system that you walk, like coal mine tunnels.
Wow.
Because it's cooler. And they enter up into a Haagen-Dazs. They enter up into a hotel lobby.
Wow.
They enter up into the mall.
Wow. That's
Unbelievable.
Cool. I saw something like that in Minneapolis. They look like little hamsters. There's like these tubes so people don't have to walk outside, like in the ice and the snow and the blizzards.
Here's what happened for the, I'm not sure if you know, Netflix just bought Miss Congeniality 1 and 2.
Ooh, and you were in both those movies.
I'm in both those movies.
Wow.
Thank you. I'll be in the third one. Mr. Congeniality.
Nice.
Starring.
So now that it's going to play on there, you might get a residual check.
Well, I still get them, and it might be bigger.
Oh, dude.
And I don't know if it's a one-time, like the next one will be one big one.
How did you find this out?
It just was on the internet, and someone texted me last night. I think it might have been Adrian. Said,
that's cool.
Hey, I'm watching Miss Congeniality on Netflix.
Did you get excited?
Well, I'll tell you this. Since I saw you, I watched it on an airplane, and I cried 3 times.
Yeah.
I cried twice from the appreciation of being in it, for real. And then I cried at the end when she said all she wants is world peace, and it kicks into a Tom Jones song.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, wow, this whole thing just made me feel good. And the fact that I'm in it.
Dude, here's how I hope that, listen, I hope people watch it on Netflix. I hope your paycheck gets higher. I hope people look you up and see that you're on this podcast, and this podcast blows up.
There we go.
Hey, by the way, guys,
Listen.
can you do us a favor? Go to Apple, if you're listening to this podcast on Apple, and just please give it 5 stars and review. Apparently, that's what helps boost these podcasts up on the list. So Apple Podcasts, give it 5 stars. It's easy, especially if you have an iPhone, you're signed in, just 5 stars. Say, I love the podcast. And I'm going to read the better reviews. I'll read all the great reviews on the... why would I read a crappy review? But I will read all the good reviews. So please, do us a favor. Go to the Apple Podcast on your phone and just give it 5 stars and a review.
Guess what I just wrote down?
What'd you write down?
I'm important.
Yes.
I'm in Miss Congeniality 1.
That's right.
And 2.
Boom.
How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
Do you have an Apple phone?
Mickey Blue Eyes. I'm in a movie with James Caan. Are you?
No. But I got a question. Do you have an iPhone?
I'm in a movie with Hugh Grant.
Who cares?
I do.
Give this a 5 stars, John.
I don't know how to do that.
That's right. I'll do it for you once we get off. That's funny. I'll invite different guests, and then at the end, I'll make them give me a review. How about
this? If they don't give you a good review, they have to listen to me list my credits. And then give them a screenplay idea.
Exactly.
Here's an idea I have.
Yeah. 2 guys, never been done before. 2 guys own a bagel shop.
Yeah.
One's like a half a fag.
Dude, by
watch
the
out.
way, I turned the AC off because we didn't want it like rattling and making noise during this. I'm getting kind of hot. And talking about this heat remind me of that. Same thing. My hotel, like I said, was like a Vegas hotel. It's super nice, Hilton property. And I had to walk about 2 blocks to the local mall. Same thing. You go into the Macy's. And, dude, right when I walked in, I couldn't believe it. It was like 4 stories. There was an ice skating rink. People are ice skating in there. It was amazing. But I got to say, I did this with my family today. We went for a nice hike. And I said, hey, just to pass time, let's name 3 things that make us happy. 3 things that, and it's kind of a cool, I started out on the podcast, 3 things that make us happy. It's a great gratitude list. It does make you feel better. And I got to tell you, I'm happy to be home because I love having home cooked meals. I love being home. I love sleeping in my own bed. The mall food got really old, like by the third day. The first day was exciting. Where am I going to eat? And then the second day you walk in.
Dude. Well, I am recently single, and I have to eat 3 times a day, and most of it is not where it's not home cooked, and it gets old. I'm down to like rice and beans, just 2 or 3 times a day. Rice and beans.
Do you wake up and eat
like
bananas?
a prisoner?
Do you eat bananas or nothing? Or?
I'll buy fruit like every 3 days and carry the bag with me. Yeah, I try and wake up and have just a piece.
Because that's kind of easy just to grab, like peel something and then. Okay, then what's with the wardrobe? Does this have anything to do with the?
Oh no, I got this shirt for free, but between the haircut with I got the wings.
Yeah.
Short on the sides, and a quasi 70s denimish prison shirt.
That's a cool looking shirt.
Prison.
Wow.
Okay?
Yeah.
A prison shirt. This haircut, the unshaven. I want to look like an escaped prisoner in a Burt Reynolds movie. And my name is Dutch.
Dutch.
That's the new look.
See, that's LA's so weird. I can see the people. There's probably 10 of you guys out there right now.
Dude, none of them have the tats.
That's true. Those are
none
cool
of them
tats.
have the street cred.
Now, are these tats?
Dude, New York City cop for 12 years.
I feel like
and my balls.
I feel like these tats are addictive because every time I see you, you got tigers, you got numbers.
I got metal logos, Ozzy and Dio.
That number says 1623. What is that? What's that mean?
Hold on. And what does that one say?
1623. Shield
for 9 years in transit. Shield number in the NYPD for 3 years. I was lucky enough to get 1623 back to back. That's not guaranteed.
Yeah.
That's probably my agent.
That Aussie thing sounds really good. Or that Aussie tattoo looks really good.
This is Sabrina. Do you want to hear an update on Laugh
Tell her
Factory?
that she's live on a podcast.
Okay. Sabrina.
What's up, Dad?
Hey, we're live on a podcast if you wanted to interject.
You're being recorded. Is that okay?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Is that Darren Carter?
Yes. Put it on speaker.
It is.
Hold on. Okay. So, and put the microphone right there.
Okay.
Hey, we were talking about congratulations on your new job.
Thank you so much. I told my dad that one of my coworkers has a Darren Carter sticker on the back of her car.
Wow.
There
No
you go.
way. She really does?
Yeah, I'll take a picture of it tomorrow night. I'll have him send it to you. And then right next to it has a sticker that just says choose death.
Oh,
I don't know what that means.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's so cool.
How was the shows?
It was great. So, a lot of fun tonight. Craig Robinson was really funny. Dion Cole was really funny. And Tony Rock was very, very nice. I ended up meeting him.
Did you bring my name up?
No, it was just a quick introduction, and he was picking up a check, and he was heading out.
Okay, no problem.
That's so
Yeah.
cool. I'm so happy you're there. I knew you were looking for a job. I'm so glad you're at the Laugh Factory. I love that place. Isn't it like an amazing place to work?
Oh, it's so fun. There's just so much history there, and like so many famous faces that I've seen on my TV, or now I'm like shaking hands with them. It's such a cool little spot, and everyone there is really fun to work with. So yeah,
that's good news.
It was really good when Greenblatt's was open next door, that deli, because everybody, after our sets, we'd all hang out at Greenblatt's next door. But I'm sure there's a place that people will. Where do people go now? Is there like if they want to grab something to eat? Is there a place nearby? Maybe
there's a cool little taco spot right across the street that's open late that a lot of the comics go to afterwards.
Yeah, I was gonna say I like that place. I go there sometimes. But Greenblatt's was open for like 105 years.
Yeah, they were. I asked what happened. They said that the owners passed away, and the son got a hold of it. The second he got a hold of it, he sold it, and now is like living on the beach somewhere.
Wow.
Oh, I like that.
Well,
At the beach.
I missed
By
that.
the beach, yeah, it's crazy. Darren, are you any plans of you being at the Laugh Factory anytime soon?
Yes, hopefully soon. They just reached out to me and they're like, "Oh, the party starter's back in town, so hopefully I'll be there soon." You know, I can't wait, especially after being on the road. You know what I mean? Like Texas, Florida. Like I want to. There's nothing like playing the Hollywood Laugh Factory.
Oh yeah, no, it's totally it feels very rock star, very LA. I mean, it feels it's really awesome. It's a lot of fun working there. I update my dad every night when I come home.
I saw Justin Bieber there. Like he used to go there and watch a couple of different comedians. Yeah, you're gonna start seeing celebrities like in the audience that like to watch the comedians. It's pretty cool.
Oh, I would literally just have a major meltdown if I saw that.
Here's one that both of you guys don't know about. George Lopez was doing morning radio, had put in his time as a comedian, and did a set at the Laugh Factory, and Sandra Bullock saw him. She came back the next night, saw him again, and gave him a sitcom. and he got discovered.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Have you got
I
this?
love that.
And have you got to see Tim Allen yet?
No, I haven't seen Tim Allen. The most famous person I've seen so far is I met Dane Cook. He did a guest spot on Saturday.
Nice. He's made the papers a lot recently too. And listen, Dane's always been cool to me. We have the same initials, and he actually sat in the back of my Honda one time. we went to get something to eat. DC. He's really cool, man. That guy blew up. Imagine blowing up like you're a daughter of a comedian. It's hard to make it in this business, and that guy reached a lot of success. Fairly young, and I mean, there's no doubt about it. I remember one year he put out a comedy album and he sold 94,000 units in 1 week.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Amazing. Yeah, he did Madison Square Garden for those 2 HBO specials that he has. And no, he did great on Saturday, and he was very nice to all of the staff. He was very nice to me. And he had a very cool car, very cool Mercedes-Benz.
Wow, that's so cool.
Nice.
I'm gonna anyways, hey Sabrina, we're about to wrap up, but it was nice talking with you, and I can't wait to see you in Hollywood.
Absolutely. I'll see you in Hollywood, Darren. Dad, I love you. You guys have a good time, okay? And I'll make sure to tune in whenever you post this up.
All right, and call me when you get home. Or text me. Just text.
All right, you guys. I'll talk to you soon.
Love you. I'm proud of you.
Love you, Dad.
Okay.
Proud of you. Bye.
Thank you.
you.
Dude, that's so cool.
Yeah, look at that.
And you know what's really cool? That you guys have a great relationship like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hung in there with her. She was looking. Watch this. She was looking for a good job.
Yeah.
And went from bad job to bad job that she didn't like, and this one came out of nowhere.
Wow.
Out of nowhere.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
And she's part of a team. You know what I mean? That's nice.
Yeah.
And the goal is to make people happy. It's an unusual goal.
You know what? I'm gonna have a writing session tomorrow with Fraser Smith, and they love Fraser over there. And I'm sure she'll love Fraser if she hasn't met him.
She met him
yet.
already.
Oh, did she really?
Yeah, he was nice.
That's
to her.
so cool.
I'm pretty sure she mentioned my name.
That's cool. That's
I
good.
like Fraser.
Yeah, we know Fraser. Remember you were telling us all those funny jokes that one night. We did that show out in Monrovia or something.
Yeah, Monrovia. I just saw that in my notebook.
That's hilarious.
I told you I have an older brother, Joey, and Fraser is his idol.
That's so
my brother
cool.
listened to him every morning in Huntington Beach in the 80s.
Yep.
And, he still drops to his knees.
That's great.
It's hysterical.
That's awesome.
He's the Fraser is my brother Joey's Howard Stern.
Hey, in closing, let's do this real quick because we got to wrap up. Let's do a couple of things that make us happy. Number one, I'm glad I have speaking of team, I'm glad I have a guy like you to do the podcast that I can hang out with. That you always have great stories. You always bring it, and you're totally we're opposite in some ways. You know what I mean? And I love that though. That's what
right. I'm funny, and you're
funnier. But listen,
how joint.
But you know what I mean? I'm bald. You have hair. You know what I mean? Like I don't have any tattoos, but you got tattoos. You're like, and that's. Now, let me ask you this before we do the thing. That's what I'm thankful for, and then you think of something you're thankful for.
I have 4. I always say. Could I say them together?
Yes.
Or are we gonna ping pong?
No, we're gonna.
People.
We're gonna ping pong. Imagine if one of us was like super duper successful. Well, I'm thankful for my third home. I'm thankful for my yacht.
No, mine are very easy.
Yeah.
And I check back in with myself about 3 to 5 times a day with this, because people will say, "How you doing?"
Yeah.
And I remind myself that I'm not broke. I'm not in a hospital. I'm not in a rehab. And excuse me up front, I'm not bald.
Guys, we're going to end this podcast.
Listen, dude, you asked.
No, I know. I didn't,
Look, hold on.
You could have... Oh, God. Turn
Hold
it
on.
up. Put the mic up there.
Ready?
Yeah. Dude, that's the sound of him combing hair.
Look right here.
It's
Let's listen to
yeah.
it.
Oh, gosh.
You can hear the thickness.
You can hear the thick hair. Oh, my gosh. Dude, my friend, he used to take Propecia. He stopped taking it, and guess what? He's going bald now. So...
I just saw a comedian that I thought his hair was a little bit funky
Yeah.
and wispy
Yeah.
and doll-like in its texture.
Yeah.
But I was like, okay, it looks like, and he's like in his 40s, so it looks like it's going.
Yeah.
But I saw a picture of, hey, this is what I looked like 4 years ago, and this is what grew in with some type of some type of method.
Oh, damn.
You know what I mean?
You're going to tell me this name.
But it looks, but it's coverage,
Yeah.
but it looks wispy.
Dude.
It looks like it could catch fire near a candle.
I walked around with no hat and no shirt in Texas so I can get some vitamin D. I did it for a half hour. And I think I sunburned my scalp.
I would think it could because
Yeah.
you're used to that hat.
Yeah, and I'm not.
And
gonna
the
do that.
sun is bad.
I'm not going to do that again.
The sun is a vicious mofo. Out of all the places I traveled,
Yeah.
you know where I was walking one day trying to stretch my legs on like a Saturday or a Sunday?
Yeah.
And I was like, this sun is brutal. It was just like stinging. And it wasn't the humidity. This time it was like, is this a... And believe it or not, I've been in 100...
assaulted by the sun?
I've been in 122.
Yeah.
And that was in Laughlin.
Yeah.
122 in Laughlin. That's dangerous.
Yeah.
But I was walking through the streets of Boise, Idaho.
Oh, geez.
And the sting of the sun, it was really unusual.
There's a place in Death Valley, and I looked it up one summer because it was hot.
140.
It was like 131, and it was called Furnace Lake. Furnace.
But again, I've
Lake.
been in 122.
It's hot. No, I know. I mean,
Here's a story
Yeah.
I wanted to say.
yeah.
I had to stay in Austin, Texas for 4 months for Miss Congeniality 1. I'm in that.
Yeah.
I'm the seventh
I heard
name.
it's on Netflix.
I'm the seventh name down.
Yeah.
And I got a single card credit before the title rolls. I'm not sure if you know. That was worked into the deal. And why did I bring this up?
It was just something.
I stayed in Austin for 4
Mm-hmm.
months, and two things came out of the rap party. So I went home, I was done, and the rap party was like the next week. So I had to pay for me and my wife and a hotel. But I thought that's what you do. You go to you got to go to the rap party. Right? I mean, I'm part of the movie. You know what I mean? And it's A, I thought you're supposed to go. B, I wanted to go. And C, you shake hands. Now it's a looser atmosphere. The movie's done. We're all have inside jokes and we're all funny. And two things happened. It was outdoors under a tent with no air conditioning. And the way I remember it, it was at night. And this is the number I remember. 117 at night with 100% humidity. Wow. So, like, everyone that greeted each other was like, it's hot, sweat. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing else. So one thing was that the heat killed it all. And this was a really interesting thing. All these inside jokes, and especially for me, you're a comedian, you're on a set with these guys for days on end. You know which one laughs at the penis joke. You know which one is a Howard Stern fan.
Yeah.
You know which one, thinks this movie sucks and you haven't. You know what? It's all these inside jokes. Now you're at the rap party. You spent all this money to fly from LA to Austin, and she can't say hello to and stay with not one person. It's her prom night. This is my daughter. Can you take a picture? This is my wife. I told you. But Sandra Bullock's running around like a chicken with a head cut off. Like she was working the room. So everybody got to say, I shook her hand. I knew, and she was willing to do it. And it was 117. But here's the strangest thing. You would go to make like a joke to one of the guys that you have these inside jokes with for 4 months, and he's got his arm around his wife. And before you could say anything that you know is going to make him laugh or be derogatory, he gives you, she's the boss look. Don't go, no. Go to the next guy. Hey, man, he's in the movie. All right, man.
Yeah.
It was really unusual. It had to happen with like enough people that I remember it happening a few times, like 5 or 6 times. And like I said, she had to run. You'd think she'd be at a dining table and having a good time. She was on her feet for like 4 hours, shaking hands.
That's a pro.
Yeah,
that's a pro.
Yeah, I mean, it's so much so that my time and my wife's time with Sandra Bullock that night. Now I'm in the movie. I'm important. Right, I had a single card credit.
Yeah.
They brought me on the set every day to improv zingers and one-liners. Right?
Right.
Every day I sat in that, I had a single banger.
Boom.
Pound it.
Yeah, baby.
Running toilet.
Ooh,
not a little scoop out. Not a scoop out.
Not a porta potty.
Dude.
This guy's the real deal.
Yeah. This ain't day camp.
This ain't day camp.
Right? Bottled water.
That's right. Guys, thank you so much
Hold
for
on.
checking out.
I'm not done.
Yes.
I wasn't done. Now you interrupt. She gave us like 5 seconds. Like, I remember you, John. Oh yeah, I remember your wife, Fran.
Oh, she gave you 5 seconds?
Yeah, like that was it.
Wow.
Yeah. But she would spend, like, if someone had a 13-year-old daughter, she would go down on one knee. How long has your dad been a cameraman?
cool.
Yeah, she really is a pro.
That's so cool.
And I don't like to drop names and drag out your podcast.
Yeah. I'm only afraid these batteries are going to die.
But I was on the streets of New York City with Bob De Niro
yeah.
and Ed Burns.
Yeah.
I don't like to drop names. Michael Caine told me it was rude. And to watch Ed Burns and Robert De Niro deal with members of the public and how they did it.
Yeah.
And just were genuine, nice, friendly, but kept it brief, kept it moving, tried not to get stopped. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, okay. That's it.
Dude, I'm afraid the batteries are going to die. But I love your stories. I want to be like Sandra Bullock right now and give you 5 seconds. John DiResta, give it 5 seconds. Give it 5 stars. Apple reviews, 5
Thank
stars.
you.
Say we like John DiResta, we like Mike Black, we like Darren Carter, we love the Pocket Party podcast. Do us a favor, review, share, leave comments on YouTube. Shout out to everybody that listens and reviews and leaves comments. We love you. And
Hold on, ready?
Yeah.
This is how we're going to go out. Ready?
guess that sound. Unless you're watching, then you know it's the sound of his rings clicking against each other. All right, y'all. See ya.
It's my new teeth.
His new teeth.
Everybody listen to Darren Carter. We all know he's the party starter. So if you want to listen to a podcast for free, then listen to the Pocket Party.